Hello everybody, we're back for some more Automobilista 2 and racing with subscribers. Hopefully this works. YouTube just we were streaming the Nordschleife update and YouTube just decided to stop working. So hopefully this comes back and we're all good. But yeah, get your Automobilista 2s up and running so you can join in with us. We've already done a few races on the Nordschleife, so I think we'll go over to some other tracks now. Give us a shout in chat. Fingers crossed this all works. YouTube normally has notification issues when you have to restart a stream. Good old YouTube. Let's see. Let's see, eh? Give it a chance. Okay. There it is. I think we're back. Right, nice one. So let's get driving here. Hey, Pete Jerome. I thought it was my computer. It was actually YouTube. I thought it was me. Normally it is my fault. This was definitely YouTube having a meltdown. There we go. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was OBS was sending the signal out, and then YouTube wasn't getting anything. And then by the time I reset it, YouTube was like, "No, it's a new stream." I'm like, "Ah, oh, now I have to reset everything." So I thought, hopefully, it's doing a new thumbnail. Yeah. Hopefully it's all good. I don't know how many people get notified of this. You have your video on autoplay and a different video randomly started. That's how much YouTube likes its live streamers. Someone just donated as well. Timbo Slice donated, and then he's like, "No, no, it's no stream for you, mate." Am I quiet? Shouldn't be too quiet. I'm bruised. I'm not quite. I'm bruised all up my arm. I don't know if you can see it. Bloody hell. No, it's not very clear. Bruised but not quiet. Right, let's get going. Multiplayer. I won't password it. We'll let it fill up, and we'll probably just race some general content, so people can just get into it. Thanks, Luke Judd. Be interested to see how many people rejoin. Random Call Sign's been having this problem where YouTube's not notifying. Twice as many likes. That's a good plan. I don't think YouTube considers likes that much. Hello, Jack. Outside of Twitch. I like how when I stream on Twitch I only get like 20 viewers. I know we've got like 30 viewers. Considering how few Twitch subscribers we have, it's actually not too bad. Right, what should we go for? For a nice little race here. To evaluate DAS handling. Everyone's saying the Porsches. Oh, yeah, we were going to try the McLaren GT4. Someone said that's good fun. So we'll do that. We'll do that at Dono. Oh, this has Donington, doesn't it? Yes, of course it does. But it's Twitch. I don't mind Twitch. I don't like its interface. But Twitch is... Well, yeah, YouTube and Twitch, they both have their own unique. They are both unique. They have their own unique things. Right. Pecs aren't. I know I need to work out more. It helps to be good looking if you're going to do like a presenting of any kind. Definitely. Well, you know, I don't consider myself ugly, but I'm certainly not a model, so Yeah, it helps to be like a... Should we not password it? Or should we password it? Exactly. Male or female, it's not just women tots. People only use Twitch. Then people only use YouTube when they're banned from Twitch. Who's type joining in chat if you want to join in with this. I have a webcam plugged into that computer. Live dangerously, no password. Shall we go for it? We'll see what happens. It's probably going to be an absolute disaster. Well, we'll see how it goes. Okay. We could do 7-lap races. Let's do little sprint, 6-lap races, super sprints. I'm not sure. The DLC is just the track, isn't it? I need to bind. Right, that'll do. Won't it? That's all right, I think. Rise from your grave. 6 laps, clear. Service called Game of Muscle. Yeah, this should be alright. People can join in. Oh, quali. How long is quali set to? That always gets me on this. 10 minutes a bit. Oh no, 15 minutes probably better. Gives a chance for people to join. There we go. I think this is stock content. Yeah, I'm not. I don't remember if I've ever driven this McLaren before. Barra de Souza Z, are you in Brazil? Baraka. Hey man, thanks for that. Is that smiley with the fingers up? Is that like a? Is that an official emoji? You survived. Nice. So I just got I just downloaded American Truck Simulator. I've been watching Paul Smith, Smileable on Twitch. He's another streamer. He's got a real job and he just streams for fun. But he does a lot of Euro Truck Sim and Train Simulator. I quite enjoy watching his channel. He's really chill, really down to earth. You should check him out. Smileable on Twitch. But it made me think. I was like, oh, I might do a bit of American Truck Sim. Be nice, chilled streaming. It's really nice, yeah, Richard B. It's a little bit bumpy, I think, but it's nicely done. But we've lost all the viewers here. Slowly they're coming back. Scotty GT, they're absolutely awesome. I've nearly finished the review video. I've just got some shots that I need to stick together in the edit. I'm probably about 4 hours of editing away from that video being finished, so I'd like to say that I'll finish it tomorrow. I kind of have to finish it before next week because I've got something else coming in the post to review. So they're awesome though. They're really fantastic. I don't want to say too much until the review's out because I'll end up repeating things. But they're good. Highly recommend them. Very easy to adjust. Fantastic. Hello, Strawman Andy. Right, let's start driving here. People can join whilst we're loaded here. Maybe, yeah, it's weird. Editing's weird. Like, if I have to, I can video edit really fast and actually quite good. Like, I can do good video editing quickly if I have to. But I don't like doing that. It's like with making music. I can make quite good music, like nothing great. Like I can make professionally passable music. I can produce it very quickly that will pass. Like you're not ever going to remember it, but you know, if someone said, "Here's a game, we need menu music that loops, and it needs to fit with the theme of the game, and we need music that sounds okay. No one's going to complain about it." I can do that very quickly. I hate working like that. I really hate it. Same with video editing. Someone said, oh, you know, we've got a thing that needs editing up. It needs to be professional. We do that. But I absolutely hate working like that. I'd much rather just go, you know, go slowly. Fiddle, you know, I edit really like relaxed. What I'm saying is I'm really bad at work. Oh dear. So yeah, I tend to edit quite slowly, like what you're saying. You're like, it's only a few hours of editing required, but then I'll be like, oh well, you know, I could do this, I could do that. The king of the jingle. Oh, here we go. McLaren time. Yeah, I could be yeah, I'm good at being mediocre. Scotty GT, yeah, either the Fanatec DD1 using my Fanatec affiliate link or the Simucube 2 is a really good, really good upgrade. Like you will really notice the difference. It's a lot of money. If you haven't got much free money at the moment, it's better to save your money because we're in the midst of an economic collapse. But if you've got the money to spend and you want to upgrade kit, then a DD, you know, it's like, if you're a hardcore sim racer, I'd say the upgrade path is nice-ish monitor, you know, like a wide monitor, whatever. Load cell brake, then DD wheel is you know, if you're into force feedback, if you're like an alien, you probably don't care about it so much. Me personally, it's like DD wheel is like a huge component of my enjoyment. With sims that have force feedback, that's good. Dave Cam, guys, check out Dave Cam's channel. Fellow Baldy. How you doing, man? Just twiddling my force feedback settings here. Oh, this is nice and smooth. Dave Cam's been playing all the Sims. Dave Cam, you should join us on this. Hello, Warren Frost. Hello, UK Gadget Man. Can we turn the steering wheel off in this? You sound a bit croaky. I'm just trying to talk. I have to stay calm. Sound croaky. That's just my voice, damn it. Hello, Corsa. You miss going to Dono. Fair enough. They're still doing track days. Are still on at Dono. Is this driver old enough to race? Compare. Well, in the real car, you are sat really low. It's weird. It still doesn't turn in on braking until you go past the rear limit. They've definitely made it more progressive, and maybe that's better with more rear brake bites actually. Like, I think it's improved. Yeah, I think I moved the brake bites a bit too far back. Yeah, well, I put locked horizon on for myself because I get motion sick from the camera moving. Alan Safari Dance, it's not my favourite, but there is like variations of force feedback. I don't know how you get more. What do you do with a physics engine to get more lift off oversteer? from a development standpoint without then causing other problems. It's very hard to get both Project Cars 2 and Automobilista 2. It's very hard to get the limit, hold it on the limit just right. It's not. It doesn't seem to want to turn in until the backs come out too much. Focus, focus. Flatten the rear tyres. See, so as we're going into that there, what's happening is I'm on the brake, the car's not at a state of locking up, and then it just, the back goes in a sort of abrupt, really large oversteer, sort of a snap oversteer, when really what you hope for is a smoother transition. Like how it operates on the throttle. Strange. Maybe it's from the combination of the steering input. I'm not sure. Your lock's too high. No, I don't think so. Spidey dig, hello. I'm not putting any steering input there and the back's coming out. Hello, Newland. Kitex, I don't really have a driving style. I'll drive the car however it needs to be driven. It's like, what it is like, where's the limit? So that, what you do is you get in a car, and you basically you get on the brake and the accelerator, you say, okay, where's the limit for this car? Like, at what point does it step out? And then it's a case of, how do I keep it under that limit whilst also trying to brake as late as possible and drive the correct line through the corner. And then you obviously then, with the given setup that you're driving, that you just change your driving to that. And so fundamentally, you're basically just dependent on the tyre model for each given sim, or well, you know. Yeah, you do have to have a different approach, but the approach is different based off, this is the point at where the car steps out and you've got more or less play. But you're not going into a car going, right, I'm going to drive this like this. It's literally like, what's the force feedback telling you, and what's happening with the car? I will then drive it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're getting a lorry in AMS1 or AC or whatever, it's like they have to be driven in a completely different way to normal vehicles. But you just do what you drive it in accordance to how much grip there is and what the force feedback's doing. You definitely have to drive AMS 2 in the same way that you have to drive Project Cars 2. You want to be getting on the throttle as soon as possible because it the cars have way more control on the throttle than they do off the throttle. Every single car in it. It's like you get more grip as you get on the throttle. They hook up on the throttle. I think it's actually better. You're better off. Oh, I thought I had enough space there. Rip the back of his car. If you're better off staying on the brake and then getting on the throttle with your foot on the brake as well, because that somehow overrides what the car's doing. Like, this behaviour's a bit weird. I wonder if it's low speed, because on the Nordschleife the cars seem to be handling quite nicely. The Porsche and the other one. Yeah, what it feels like is you're braking and it's not braking much, then all of a sudden it snaps into a state of the rear's popping out. Is that transition from you've got grip to you're really the rear's coming out is very, very abrupt. But it doesn't do it on the throttle, so that's what's strange. It does it on braking, but normally you're like, okay, if it's got that character, you expect it to have that character also on the throttle. But it's very pliable on the throttle. Like it's very the grip loss is really progressive on the throttle. Oh, I was launching over that. Yeah, I don't get this. I don't get that. More cowbell. Yeah, you can normally to get the rear to come out off the throttle. It's diff coast settings, but they don't do anything in this really to address the issue. We could try the GT3s. It's just the braking is it's locking up the rears, and then that's it. It rotates. Hello, Fez Fox. Hello, John O'Pono. Hello, V Monique. Did we just have like a bunch of notifications go out by YouTube? Suddenly, like a bunch of people just jumped in. I mean, yeah, I can turn my force feed back up a bit and what have you. Oh yeah, I had this all turned. It's on the default setting. It's fine. These are awesome, these pedals. Michael B! Hello. I hope you guys have all got a cup of tea. F. Warner with the fastest lap there. Johnny B. B. Louise. S. Soto. Hang on, what's going on there? Oh, I guess it skipped it to display where I am. Red wine. Cyber Weekend. No, I really want to get a Nintendo Switch. A friend of mine might be getting one. If they get one, then I might get one so I can play games with her. But other than that, I don't think I will. A lemonade-free shandy. Hang on a minute. Whoa! What was that? Hey, I just tried to... Hang on, what's going on there? I can't click continue here. Is this broken? Oh, no, there we go. Right, need to make sure we've got enough fuel in here. 7-lap race. I can reduce that. It's just it's from the tyre model really where it's happening rather than the other aspects of the physics, I believe. Just the snappy nature of it. As I say, 'cause it's exactly the same in Project Cars 2. I wonder if it's actually a thing that's possible for Reza to actually fix. Maybe it isn't. Here we go. Once you're at speed, it's only at low. I think it's at low speed. Low speed tight corners. It doesn't really feel like Project Cars 2. I mean, it's got different. The cars are implemented differently. It's just you do notice certain. The general approach to what you do to go faster is kind of similar in a sense. Getting on the throttle as soon as possible because the cars then hook up into the corner. It's quite similar to Project Cars 2. Right, here we go. Hello, Rick B. Thank you, man. Oh, geez, server's full. Jesus. And car lifted on his roof. I'm not sure what that's about. Interesting racing line. Oh, Jesus. Some netcode shenanigans going on here. Oh, 360 no-scoped off the track. Textbook overtake there. Have Have you never watched a GT4 race and seen a car right on the roof? I've seen it. It happens all the time. Class shoe physics. I think that's more net code. Like, I don't think they could. It wasn't doing that from their perspective. It was more what my computer could see. Why is it not slowing down? The braking seems really erratic in terms of how much the car slows down. If that makes sense. It's back on his roof again. It's a good way. It's the best way to take that chicane. Oh, he's being pummeled off the track. There we go. Mate, I'm here. Hello, welcome to the chat. I don't know what you mean, Dom. These are perfectly normal car collisions. This is what it's like when you're driving down the motorway. 1 minute you've overtaken a caravan, the next minute the caravan's on top of your car. I feel like my brake pedal's not working fully. I don't know what the... I don't know if we can get a brake gauge on the screen in this game. See, this is the thing. So with ACC, I find the handling. I mean, the force feedback's like useless, but the handling in ACC is bland and a bit boring, but it is super consistent. So it's like in ACC, nothing like crazy happens. Well, maybe sometimes it does, but for the most part, nothing crazy happens in ACC. Same with Assetto. The original one, it's all very consistent within itself. I mean, you could say the same thing about GT Sport as well. It's like this time they get the cars to the track, they stack them all on top of each other. Roof rack GT4 cars. Car does not feel happy going through these corners. Full beans. Trying to catch up here with the top three guys. They're quick. Hello, Tyrant Worm. Oh no, Mortison's coming up behind us here. It's very hard to drive this smooth because it's so abrupt and so unpredictable on the brakes. Like, what is that? It's like, oh shit. It's like if you're riding a bicycle and you just stick a stick in the front wheel. Bloody odd. I'd imagine they'll release it on console at some point. Well, that went well. Let's try GT3 car. It's very abrupt at the limit, this. Okay. We did the Porsche GT4 car before? I don't know if we can have a UI option for pedal input. Are all the cars made of glass? Can you imagine having a glass GT4 car? Yeah, when you use the steering wheel, the dampening, it doesn't apply. It doesn't use that at all. Well, that was certainly interesting. Hello, CB. Let's try GT3 car then. Someone was saying, "Oh, the Mercedes is good," so we'll try that. We'll do it the same track. What are we waiting for? I'll vote to start. Okay, let's do this. See what the difference is like. The problem is not locking up; it's what the car does when it locks up. All aboard the GT3 train. Maybe we could do we could do ACC and compare side by side. Automobilista 2 versus ACC. As much as I'm not the biggest fan of ACC, like it is consistent within its own thing. Like, you know, it's, as I say, very much like Assetto Corsa 1, GT Sport, Live for Speed. There's no it's like they make sense within their own logic, regardless of what you like and dislike. They make sense as a mod. They're consistent across the range of what's going on with the car. If that makes sense. Yeah. So as I say, Live for Speed, Assetto 1, ACC. That's it. Oh, GT Sport. Yeah. I mean, I really don't. I don't particularly like how the cars handle in GT Sport. I find ACC handling a bit dull, but it's consistent. So. This is part 2 now. Yeah. Well, it sounds quite nice there. What was that? Oh, that was in-game. I thought my pedals were making noises then. Cockpit looks nice. And the thing with this is you don't know how far along a given car is. The cars in this are in varying stages of development. And this makes more sense. This is not as... yeah, I mean, it still is a little bit on and off. I think in general with all vehicles, there's normally a fairly smooth transition between the different physics states of, you know, like snap oversteer or the weight moving around. Like only if you're driving like mental go-karts or like specific cars that are bonkers do you get cars that are totally mental to handle. This definitely feels a lot more polished. Why are the traffic cones made out of glass? I think this car seems all right. What is he doing? It's not a good place to park. Oh Jesus! What is? I didn't password this. This is all my fault. Sounded like a plate. Yeah, Donington makes his traffic cones out of bone china. If you've ever been to Donington, it's very famous for drivers getting bone china traffic cones in the face. Alright, I don't know what was invalid about that. It seemed alright to me. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's still doing the somewhat abrupt. Once you get to the limit, the rear is quite abrupt. There's a little bit of turning before it goes totally crazy, so you know. I've not seen it, CB. I will watch them. Their new series just come out. It's car vibrating. What's that about? Okay, I'll watch it. Don't, no spoilers. Not better than Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, the game on the N64. Well, this GT3 car seems a lot more convincing than what we were driving before, McLaren GT4 car. This is a lot more progressive. I'm definitely on the mindset that real-world vehicles tend to be somewhat progressive in terms of them, how they slide around and stuff. Still abrupt on the brake though. in various scenarios, the brake pedal is still a bit stabby. I think that's a fair assessment, Dom. I haven't, Pete, but I did see that. It did look pretty cool. Does anyone know if there's a brake pedal gauge in this game? I could really do with knowing how much I'm pushing the brake pedal. That was me downshifting too soon. Oh, okay, Ryan. Thanks for that. See, it's just weird to me how forgiving it is on the throttle. So I was turning far too tight there and just slapped on the accelerator, and the back's very forgiving there. It pops out. I mean, in what I think is probably quite realistic. But that, in contrast to how unforgiving it is on the brakes, is really weird. I can't feel through the force feedback if I should be turning more, putting more throttle on. I don't know. It just seems a bit all over the place. This is a lot better than the previous car, but it's just erratic. It's probably the best way of describing it. Does it have planes? Wow, I don't think so. Alright, let's try and get a good lap time here. Shocking. Shocking. The Nurburgring's a really nice model, though. It's a really nice job on the track model. I mean, I do wonder, you know, if you're playing these games, maybe you're not like an old Git sim racer, and maybe you're just using like a G25 or a T150 or something, or even a gamepad. You're not going to know. You probably won't notice the difference, will you? Saying that, when I had a G25, I absolutely loved Netcar Pro live for speed. So... Got some fast Gibbons in here. Hello, Formula Well Lebanon. Whee! Well, I seem to have hit my my potential. No, I'm going to wait until like the TI series or whatever the see what the AMD cards are like. My 2080 Ti is pretty good. Oh my god, it's so on it. Like I'm trying to dial it down a bit. It's hard to get the car driving consistent. It's like so on edge. It feels as if you're driving a shopping trolley. It's like the car's trying to kill me. It's like the suspension's broken or something. I don't know. It's really weird. I find it hard to get into the flow of this vehicle. Hello, Gertrude. Jesus, 2 seconds off the pace as well, so... I'm not even vaguely close to pace. Have I got too much fuel or something? No. I've got the wrong tyres. Oh, I just killed the car behind me. Not at Donington, Dom. With not with GT3 cars at Donington. I mean, Donington's in the Laguna Seca class of racetracks. Laguna Seca, Donington, Brands Hatch. I'm on pace on those tracks with moderate cars. And my tracks, Laguna Seca, Donington, Brands Hatch. Bloody hell. Imola. Yeah, what? It's a shame they don't have it in ACC. They're adding it though, aren't they, with Alton Park? Well, what is going on here? Do I have the right tyres? Let's put soft slicks on. Maybe it adds soft hards on or something. Front, rear, okay. If it's not picked the right tyres, that'd be a bit stupid. Ow. The AI just drove the car into the wall. Oh, I'm going to get one lap in, I think. It's still, I don't know, still a bit erratic, but I think it might be faster. I know. Should do, really. It's going so... The car is flobbling all over the place. Well, that was better, but soft tyres are definitely more consistent and reliable, but yeah, still. I don't know. I don't know if soft tyres will last for a 7-lap race. I would have thought they should do. In a GT3 car, they should last for like half an hour. Yeah, the Dunlop Bridge. Chris Evans bought it. They've got a Dunlop Bridge at Brands Hatch though, haven't they? It's not really a Dunlop Bridge, is it? It's like a tyre bridge thing. Yeah, I think he bought it, but he had to, under the rules, he had to like not destroy it. Basically, it was all in parts though. When they bought it, it was all just laid on the floor in like pieces. I'm all right, Jack. Oh, hang on, Scrutineer. Why am I going to the pit box? Edit the old setup here. Quick sprint race. There's no point in doing custom force feedback, Nick, really. If you've got a DD wheel. I mean, maybe... So the thing is, with these driving sims, ultimately, I can't think of a single scenario where twiddling around with the force feedback has fundamentally fixed force feedback issues with a driving sim. It's like the only scenario where doing like random force feedback fiddling actually has an impact is with something like IRFFB, where it's not fiddling the force feedback, it's literally generating its own force feedback. I think what it is some people like certain, they're looking for a specific type of force feedback feel with certain wheels. In that case, maybe fiddling around with force feedback stuff might be what might be good for them. For me personally, I can't click continue. And we got stuck here. Great. Okay, so that's still a bug. Yeah, for me personally, I'm not looking for a specific type of force feedback from any sim. I don't care what it feels like. You just need a range of force feedback that tells you what's going on, and then you just learn to drive off that. Like, you just need that range there. It doesn't matter how it's delivered at what points. Well, that's buggered. That bug's still there. No, it's buggered. Everyone's finished. We could kick people. We could just kick people until it works. That's the solution. If you want to fiddle around with the force feedback in AMS2, it's like Project Cars 2, where you have to edit a text file outside the game. Just kicking people. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, well, this didn't work. Yeah, generally, you might as well just you just use the in-game force feedback and just set the wheel so it's not clipping, reduce dampening, or put as much dampening as you want, and then that's basically what it's going to come down to. The only exception to that, as I say, would be like IRFFB, where it genuinely does completely change the force feedback. I think what happens with force feedback settings and tweaking is a similar thing that happens with car setup tweaking, where there's people that don't know what they're actually trying to get out of it, or they don't know what is good or bad, or they don't have an objective from it. But it feels different each time, and so they're like, "Oh, that's amazing," or maybe it exaggerates one thing, makes something very obvious that wasn't there before. Like maybe it makes it more bumpy, so it's more obvious that there's track texture. So they're like, "Oh, wow, I can really feel the track. That's really realistic and immersive." And then maybe another one makes it so the rotation of the rear is really obvious through the force feedback, and they're like, "Wow, the car's catching itself." So it's amazing. And you know what I mean? And it's like, well, those things don't help you drive the car. They're just, you might like that or not, but I don't know what to do here. Don't know what to do. I feel like opening ACC. Let's do it. I'm going to open ACC just as an interesting comparison. We could try the other GT3 car. Let's do it as a quick. Let's try the Porsche. Let's do it as a quick test because I don't want to set up a server and do the old qualifying thing again. I'll do it the same track. Then we'll compare to ACC. Right, there we go. Do it as a practice, actually. Yeah, I think the new track and some new cars to ACC will be nice. Yeah, AC by far the best all-round simulator. Content, force feedback. Not if you want to drive at night, and not if you want to drive in weather. But outside of those two scenarios, you know, value for money and everything. Obviously, if you just want to drive GT3 cars, then you know ACC is gonna be better for that. It's obviously what it's designed for. But if you were to like go, wow, look at all the stuff that's available in the game, it's like, well, what? Nothing compares to it, really. The car collisions and netcode's pretty good in ACC. It's one of the things they improved a lot. 09. It might depend what cars you're driving. So with IIFFB, I found, fine with like skippies and stuff without seat of the pants. But if you're driving like the Formula cars, this car cockpit looks nice. This seems a bit better. It's got quite Yankee force feedback. It's like very tuggy, which gives you the impression that the tyres have grip and then don't have grip. The thing is, you only need one good car in this simulator, then you could race that to your heart's content. Well, this seems a lot more predictable on the braking. This seems better. This car actually seems alright. But let's do a race with this. Well, this is just balanced. Feel a little bit disconnected from the road. I do feel like it's just sliding over the road surface a bit, but this is not doing anything crazy. I don't know if these are hard tyres or not. Let's do a race with this. I'll do a password to server because this car seems okay. Right, we'll go for that. It's not doing anything stupid. Okay, let's create a new server here. I'll password it so it's not full of bonkers drivers. Right, there we go. We'll have less cars as well. There we go. Get in there, guys, if you want to. Hello, Leonardo Cacella. It'll be interesting to compare this car with the one in ACC. It's IKEA glass tankard. Well, I'll just start this off. People can join in. Get in there. Let's hopefully it goes through to the next session. So it's difficult for Automobilista 2. Even, let's say, even if it was like the same handling wise or on the par or better or whatever than AC, ACC, or the other simulators, it's like, how does it? How the Sims are in a difficult spot in that they've all got the same cars and the same tracks. So you're kind of like, well, even if a sim is better, so like even if Automobilista 2 was better than ACC and R-Factor 2 or whatever, even if it was literally the best handling, it's like, but the other sims have got a user base, so they're more active online, so and they're cheaper. It's a hard spot for developers, like how you make your sim stand out. Well, that's I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah, I mean, we've always said this. This sort of iRacing online system is just so good. Probably that P4, the radical rip-offs. Which sim has best graphics? It's hard to say. From like external views, ACC has really nice graphics, but from the cockpit, it's not very sharp. There goes the cone. Oh, come on. That was a legal move, I'm sure. Yeah, I find Assetto 1 looks fantastic when you... especially if you're playing it at higher resolutions. Well, this car definitely feels a lot more consistent than the other cars. Like, he's not doing anything bonkers. Which is quite nice. Just, he's a bit yanky on the force feedback. And he's a bit bouncy. You see how on the brake there, when I turn in, the back's coming out a bit, but it's not doing like a wild mental slide. T rating, 6 out of 10 tea bags. I'm gonna have to go through all the sims and give them T ratings. Yeah, MCR's like a Yeah. There's like 6 radical rip-offs. The handling of this car is a lot closer to Race Room, AC. I think I get a lot of AMS2 players though that like the overactive, the somewhat crazy overactive handling. I think that's realistic. Which, yeah, I mean, if they enjoy it, fair enough. You know, let them have it. I always feel that cars are generally super stable, and in my experience, which is very limited, as a passenger in fast vehicles, it's always, in real life, it's always felt as if there's like, it comes across as like there's infinite grip. Like the experience of being in a real car is that of, holy shit, this car is unbelievably glued to the circuit. Whereas when you play driving simulators, your experience normally is, oh my god, the car's going to slide. The car doesn't want to grip. Let's have a firework display, why not? Sounds like the car might be bottoming out through that. Why is that not hooking up? Come on. Hello, James Stones. You like to know where you are with the car. You're in the Midlands at Brands Hatch. I mean, Donington. Brands Hatch is not in the Midlands. I think people just, maybe they bought the fireworks on sale. It's not Diwali, that's after Christmas, isn't it? Festival of Light. Oh, I'm expecting it to hook up and it doesn't. I did try the McLaren GT4. It's stupid. 3 out of 10 tea bags. 3 out of 10 tea bags for that from the McLaren GT4. I think more people should review things with teabag scores. It's only fair. It's not really it wasn't really the brake, Richard. It was the abrupt snap oversteer. It was also happening from steering input as well. How strong do you like my tea? I often just leave the tea bag in the cup, to be honest. All the strength. Oh, jeez. Well, that's non-conventional line through there. We're going to directly... I mean, I probably should have done the same track, but we'll try this car out in ACC next. Direct comparison. Because life is but a comparison. T on the loose. Loose T. I don't know if I'm pushing my... So the brakes I've got are really nice, the Mecha Cup pedals. But I don't know if there's no brake gauge on the screen, so I don't know if I need to be pushing my brake harder or not. I can't really tell from the force feedback if there's more to give or not. I've got the camera set up to be as less shaky as possible. That's why the car bonnet is moving around a lot. So you can set it up so that your camera's moving with the car. That would technically make the camera more shaky. You cannot stop bouncing. There's no excuse. You can use this car to put a toddler to sleep. It's really good. Who's any AMS2 fanboys in the chat? I'm sorry, building. I'm just rude. There are. There's some massive AMS2 fanboys. Michael B, yeah, that was sometimes, but that was only specific times. It was just in general. Leonard, the biggest AMS2 fanboy. I always find it strange when you have people that are super fanboys of a given sim, and they're like, so a sim comes out, and they're like, this is the best thing ever. And then the sim drastically changes because it turns out at launch there was like some really obvious physics bug that everyone was pointing out, apart from the mega fans. And then they're still like, this is the best sim ever. It's like, hang on, what about... it's changed from the previous version. ACC was like that. At launch, it literally... I mean, I still think it's knackered a bit, but at launch there was massive delay in the input. Like, there was some like absolutely ridiculous stuff going on. And there were people going, oh, it's perfect. It's like, hang on. I mean, now it's not... that's not in the game at all. Like, they patched it out, basically. There's still people that were like, oh, that was perfect, but now it's perfect still. So, well, but you can't have it both ways. Yeah, I'm a fanboy of Reza. RF2 feels tighter than AMS2 and a bit more responsive, but AMS2's a nicer package in terms of you buy it, you know what you're getting. RF2's problem is its bloody structure and sales format and user interface. If they literally repackaged R-Factor 2 into an AMS2 type interface, it would be 1,000 times better. Cello ride. There you go, game of muscle line. Let's hope it doesn't bug out. T, but it's just going into the next session, Mark. Oh. Hopefully it works this time. There we go. It'll work after a minute. Car cache good, but there's no multiplayer in it, and this is like the world's slowest development team. Fair enough, it's hard to make good sims, but where's the fuel in this? Oh, there we go. Let's see how this goes. So we'll directly compare this. Be interesting to compare this AMS2 versus ACC versus Assetto. Assetto wins. As the resident Assetto fanboy. Who in chat type your preferred driving simulator, best physics and force feedback. What'd you go for? Type the abbreviated sim name. It's a good mix. Oh, I missed that. I missed your message there. I'm too busy getting abbreviation spammed. Ah, no, these dirty ACC fanboys. Still getting the hang of the DD1. I tell you what, I found with the DD1 in AC, setting up the force feedback in a specific way is better than... and I'll go after an updated video on that. Yeah, sim racing system's amazing. Here we go. Ah, the brakes cold. Oh, they're not cold. They're green. Don't know if that means they're warmed up. Looks nice. Yeah, we're bouncing all over the place here. Graphics are really good in this at times. Hello, Chadhead. Yeah, there's no seat of the pants feel in ACC. So if you expect that or you like that, then it drives you absolutely batshit mental. One day, maybe, I don't know. I don't think Kunos will ever add it. I burnt all my Kunos bridges by slagging off the force feedback AI and multiplayer too much. if anything, Kunos would do the opposite of what I want just to spite me. Maybe we should petition We set up a petition, the Game of Muscle for Seat of the Pants force feedback petition in all simulators. AC by miles. Best all round everything. Especially with the DD wheel. Not neck handlings. There are aspects of AC I don't like, such as the car warping from the netcode, the slippy curbs on certain corners and certain tracks, the suspension doesn't absorb. Tried to avoid him. The suspension doesn't absorb bumps properly in the original, in First Assetto Corsa, like curbs and things. Cars oscillate incorrectly. Cockpit of this car is really nice as well. They've done a really good job modelling this. I mean, this is good. This is really nice. So, right, this to me, like, you look at the racing that's coming out of this as well. The racing is more convincing, whereas with the other cars, the racing was like all over the place. Like, do you see what I mean? I think when you have more realistic handling cars, you also get more realistic racing. Like, this is actually quite good. Nice move up the inside there by Cryer. Too bad it's the slow line. Yoink. Yeah, this might be a good car for us to do community races with. We've already done some casual sim racer. I mean, obviously this is a better car because I'm in first place. That's how it works. The better the car, the higher up the grid I am. I'm driving default setup. Yeah, I'm going to give this... This might actually approach 7 tea bags. Maybe 6.5. I don't really want to give out half tea bags, but this one's probably approaching 6.5, 7 tea. I mean, it's, let's say that AC1 is like normally around about 9 tea bags. Hello, Doberman. Well, Mario Kart's bloody amazing. Chris Fox Racing, hello. We're doing all right. Had some nice chatting, nice racing. Some huge donations. That's been nice. YouTube deleted my stream. CB, were you here earlier when I said I bought there's that fighter sale on Steam at the moment. I bought Mortal Kombat 11. It's like 15 quid. I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. Probably won't ever play it. I've actually got an arcade fighting stick. I saw it, Chris Fox Racing. There's a plane! I know it's a drone. Thought they might have added a Cessna. Ah, nice. Good driving it. Look at this. It's actually good racing. Like, this is good. Concentrate more on the racing rather than flobbling the car around. Well, apparently Mortal Kombat 11, a lot of people are saying the design changes to it make it a lot more fun as a game. I only ever really liked the very... I mean, I've only really played the old 2D ones on the SNES, but I only really liked the very first one. I didn't really like they changed the mechanics from the very first one to like Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 and what have you. I didn't really enjoy where they went with them. But I was always much more of a fan of Street Fighter. Far better fight, like more precise fighting game. Mortal Kombat was always a bit, you know, it was a bit simplified. Wow, we're oh, I've won! That's it, best car in the game. Oh dear. Yeah, well, you know, there was no point in that race where we did some ludicrous loss of car control. Which, I mean, I don't, you know, I'm not claiming that I'm like the best sim racer in the world, or I'm good, even good. But I would say, if you've got the, like, absolute top-end sim racing equipment and you've got more than 3,000 hours of sim racing practice, you should be able to drive a simulated race car when you're not absolutely pushing it to the limit without spinning. Like, it shouldn't really be hard. Do you know what I mean? So, to me, that's normally a good sign. I think that was good. And the racing looked much more natural. So that car was, that's 6.5 T-bags out of 10. We're going to, now we'll contrast it with ACC. Good racing, though, by Cryer, Donners, Boss. We might have to do some racing with subs with this car on other tracks. So this is the thing I was saying with this game. If you can find 1, 2, 3 cars that are fun, that you enjoy, or that are good for online racing, that's all you need, and then you can just race around all the tracks. You know, different weather. You don't need all the cars to be good. That's what happened with Project Cars 2. We had the Clio Cup, the Radical, the Caterham, and some of the other cars. They were fine. So we had a lot of fun racing them. You became an expert, Pete Jarram. Did you play with your knees? Right, let's try this car in ACC then and give it as a direct comparison. Azaris, wow, I don't believe you. I don't trust you. You don't drink enough tea to make an informed decision. That's clearly the case. Right. 911 GT3R. Good racing, guys. Appreciate that. That was actually a good fun race. Not because I won it, but I mean the actual side-by-side driving was good fun at points there. ACC, let's compare. 911 GT3R. Well, from my experience, I can't feel shit in a Sette Corsa competition. That's obviously because my wheel, as I'm told, because I don't know how to set up force feedback or something. I don't know. Right. What wheel do I use? This is a OMP Trecento. My camera's lagging a bit there. This is an OMP Trecento on a Fanatec DD1. CSL Elite's a good bit of kit. Gibret. Oh, that's nice. Is there no? It so it looks like that when you rotate it. It looks like it's going up and down. Do you see that? It looks like it's off center. But what it is that the
what is the motive behind this demand? Necessity. Necessity for money. I'm not supplying money for necessities.
Glad to see you streaming again.
What it is that the edges go in. I don't know, maybe I bought a faulty one and it is off-centre, but it doesn't feel off-centre when you're actually driving. That's what's strange. You just feel it's more that the grip's going. This is an official OMP Trecento wheel from OMP, from their web shop. Like, legit, it's not like I bought it off a dodgy place. So thanks for that donation, man. Yeah, I don't know. I know that so this top part of the wheel is more open than the bottom, specifically for when you're using a car, so you can see the speedo and stuff behind it. And also the moulding, as I say, is such that it's easy to hold on to. Like if you're driving a car with really high force feedback, you can use the palm of your hand to stabilize it, like to hold on to it rather than having to use grip so much. It's OMD. OMG. It's 13. You were talking about the Sim Magic wheel, Uzi 9mm. With 13 Newton meters, the thing with the DD wheel is the main thing is there's no dampening, and so there's no mechanical dampening, so you can set it up how you want to. 13 Newton meters of force is a good amount of force feedback. It's nice. Generally, what you find is it don't cost that much more to get a 20 Newton meter DD, so you might as well just get that. But yeah. What are we doing here? Should we go to multiplayer and find... I'll do it in single player. I'll do practice. Or is there... can you just pick it? I don't find a multiplayer race. So what car was it? Porsche... Was it the Porsche GT3 Cup or something? These are the Mecha Cup 1 pedals. They're really, really good. I've got a review video coming out soon. 2.3 Newton. No, not really. the G25. Why is this not fetching the server list? What's happening here? Yeah, I was really lucky that they sent us these pedals to review. SimuCube 2. No, SimuCube 2 is fantastic building. I've used it. It's really, really nice. Yeah, why is this not working? What's going on? Are the servers down on ACC? Yeah, so I would... I've only had a very limited amount of time with the SimuCube 2, but I would say it's likely that it's marginally better than the Fanatec DD1. In terms of absolute objective force feedback fidelity. It's not a huge diff. Like, you wouldn't care either way, but I think it is slightly better. There we go. Right, we'll find a server that's not full. To be fair to ACC, I was doing some races the other day as part of reviewing these pedals. And the public servers in ACC are actually pretty good now. Like, you get... I mean, it's GT3 racing. There's not much overtaking. It's a little bit dull. Is it this car? Was it this car? But the general cleanliness of the racing was actually pretty good, you know? So, is that the right car? 911 GT3R. Is this correct? How do I get the older one? That's it. 2019 is the only one I can have. No, but it's a similar... It's meant to be the same car, give or take. There isn't an older one in ACC, is there? Is what I'm saying. This is the closest one in ACC to it. So this is the best we're going to get. That's what I'm getting at. Oh, am I? No, I'm blaming the user interface for that. There we go. 2018. There we go. So it's this one. It's not my fault. Oh, it's not my fault the UI in this game is apparently designed by someone that's never actually used a user interface before. Controversial opinion there. I mean, come on. The UI in this game is complete shite. Like, that's not... that. Come on. It is, isn't it? It's not just me being ridiculous. Who agrees in chat? Consensus by Thank you, Timbo Slice. It's not. It could be worse. In fairness, it could be worse. It's just. It's not like. This is the kind of UI that the British government would design on like a benefit website. They'd be like, "This is great." It's like the kind of UI you'd expect from an accountancy firm. Yes. Yeah. Next time Aris says Game of Muscle needs to learn how to drive, I'll say Kunos needs to learn how to use their interface. Why couldn't I come up with that on the spot? Not clever enough. Right, here we go. Oh, god damn it. Too late. I don't think that's true, Azaris, because Content Manager's pretty good with loads of options. Microsoft Flight Simulator UI is alright, and that's got more options than any driving sim. Right. There we go. Well, the thing with Content Manager is it's not immediately intuitive, but at least once you know how to use it, it's bloody quick and it has all the options there, and there's quick jump-in options and stuff. And functionality of it's really good. Let's take some fuel out here. Alright, here we go. No front end feel incoming. It's weird how different sims are. Like the handling of this compared to AMS2 is totally different. Outside of what's realistic or not, it's like it's like the difference between a monster truck and a Formula 1 car. It's absurd. Tell you what you notice with this, right? It's more initially pokey than AMS2. But once you get to the limit, it then all the dynamics stop. So like under the limit is quite pokey, like that initial weight transfer on the suspension. But as soon as you've got the tyres loaded up, it's like nah. It's just train tracked. Cars on top of cars is where the excitement really is. Yeah, it's definitely a lot less bouncy. I mean, it's super bland compared to AMS2 though. The car's like just... It is just very bland. Is the way. I mean, I can't think of a better term. I think if it had the force feedback there, it'd probably be a lot more entertaining. I think it's that lack of force feedback that makes it feel bland. Yeah, I saw that, Dom, but in theory, stiffer tyres should make it even less. It's like stiffer tyres should make it have even less play. Should make the cars more twitchy, in a sense, but less pliable. Whereas I'd imagine. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'm not a big fan of either, to be honest. From a raw driving experience. Interestingly, this doesn't have much lift-off oversteer either. Michael Bitt, I do want to do more race room. I do quite enjoy it. I haven't been streaming recently. They're like weekly endurance races on Wednesdays. Look like they could be quite fun. Sort out the force feedback on your DD. It's too high end. Slide entry. I mean, the AC Porsche definitely feels tighter. I think I need to decrease the field of view in AC. I think I might have my FOV a bit high. ACC. I just wish this had bloody seat of the pants feel to the force feedback, so you could feel the G-forces loading up, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm really pushing through this corner, or I'm not, or I'm being very delicate. Like, there's no feel for that at all. Such a shame. It's such a nice thing to feel through force feedback. I wonder if someone could mod it in, you know, like IRFFB. I wonder if there'd be a way to hack it in from the telemetry. Given that you've got the data there, that's what motion rigs use. It wants to drift round that corner. I think the appeal of ACC for a lot of people is you know what you're getting with it. So regardless of if you preferred race room or whatever, regardless of if you generally prefer another sim over another sim, with ACC it's very, for people that have a limited amount of time to bother learning all the different bloody physics and everything, you can jump into it. You've got the defined tracks. There's not too many tracks, so you sort of get up to speed with them. The cars are pretty, they're handled in a very obvious way. So you know, if you have a good expectation of what your average play session in ACC is going to be like, you'll probably have an okay race, which is pretty much what most people just want. You know, they're not looking for the tits to be blown off by a specific aspect. They just want to be like, I know when I load this game up, I'll have an okay time. Oh, my tit's blown off. I'm telling you, these the pedals I'm using are really good. It's great for you guys that don't have really good pedals. Sorry. Jesus. So force feedback in this game. I wonder if people that like the force feedback in this, if they were to come over on my sim rig and then go on this and then try other sims with my setup, they'd be like, oh, I see what you're saying. Right. No, I mean, once you've got a DD wheel with all sims, you can feel what any simulator's innate force feedback is. And pretty much, it's always the case with a DD wheel that you're basically always adding some type of dampening to whatever the sim's force feedback is, because it's too much. Normally too much stuff from the sim. It's like unrealistically over responsive. So you're just adding stuff that in a sense makes the force feedback worse. You should try it yourself, CB. You shouldn't listen to YouTubers. How many tea bags for ACC? Well, we're about to do a race. No, I've not got a reverb. I mean, it's difficult. It's kind of like a 6.5 tea bags again. I mean, with this car, like literally just this car compared to the one in AMS2, they're different, but they're both a bit. I think if ACC had better force feedback for like seat of the pants feel and like more range to its force feedback, then I'd probably give it like 8 tea bags, maybe 7.5, 8 tea bags. But it's the lack of force feedback knocks it down to a 6.5. Anyone in chat want to say that force feedback's great, and then I'll ban you. But I'm fed up of people that think that ACC's force feedback is acceptable. They should be executed. They should be led to the gas chamber. Stalin muscle. Right, I'll be back in a second, guys. Oh, I'm just dropping stuff on the floor. I'm getting a fresh cup of tea ready for the race. Get your tea bags on. Back in a minute. So. Oh. Yeah, I don't understand the I don't understand the psychology. Hello, Costy. The force feedback psychology. I think you can have good racing with this though. You definitely get good racing in ACC, and that you, as you saw with that Porsche in AMS2, but you have it with that as well. It gets really hot. I've got the window open, CB. Yeah, it gets to like 30 degrees in here pretty quickly. It's the 230 watt LED lights, 500 watt being put out by the PC. AC's got the best all-round force feedback, the original Assetto Corsa. For feeling what the car's doing. In terms of force feedback that you use to inform how you drive, maybe iRacing with the IRFFB as well, with the seat of the pants thing on. I mean, the thing is, the physics are obviously not the best in iRacing, so. I'm pretty sure it's just the seat of the pants thing is what you need. You need some kind of emulation of G-force type feel, lateral G-force feel through the steering wheel. Like, I think all sims need that. Like, if you're someone that drives from field, if you don't have that, it's like you're driving blind. And different sims, like even R Factor 2 lacks it with a lot of cars in a lot of situations. R Factor 2 has really good feel for the tyre in terms of the sort of tyre on the road surface and the suspension compression and like tyre flex type stuff. But at times, and I think that's good feel for suspension, but I don't think it has. It's not got the sort of G feel that a original Assetto has, if that makes sense. It's a bit all over the place in AMS2. It's a bit Yankee, bit on and off. It's hard to sort of really pin it down. Yeah, that's the thing. In Assetto Corsa 1, you can feel if you're on the like you know if you're on the limit through the force feedback. Like you could have your eyes closed and you're going around the corner, and you could tell from the force feedback that you are driving the car at the limit. Like you're holding the car at the limit, just from how it feels. I don't think there's any other simulator that really has that. Bon appetit. Thanks, Xpot. Bit of low. Lidl sell this granola, low sugar granola. It's really nice, actually. Tastes like a breakfast bar. How much... I feel like the steering was a bit... Yeah, this is like soft granola. I was messaging my mum about this earlier today. Her teeth snap easily. And I was like, this granola's really good. She's like, I can't have it because my teeth will break. And I was like, no, this one's all right. It hasn't got the big nuts in it that are really chewy. Blade Wolf Kajikayo. Hello. Well, going from direct drive from a belt wheel has a huge difference, but you don't get a DD wheel still using the game's force feedback, so all it'll do is make the game's force feedback more obvious and more clear. Like, you're still dependent on the individual game's force feedback. I don't know, Slayer. I'm not the right person to ask for that kind of thing. Ask Jarjay or someone that's quick. We're just comparing this car with the one in AMS2. We were in AMS2. We're just trying to do a comparison. Here we go. It's pretty bad qualifying, but. Well, this will be alright. It's a 20-minute race. Yeah. Do I commentate ELMS? No. I commentated a random ACC thing recently. That was last week, I think. Here we go. Here we go. Starting well at the back here. You got? Oh, look, we have viewers have joined in. MTC, Mike TTC. Sneaky. Is that enough fuel? That's enough fuel, isn't it? 60 litres is enough for 20 minutes, or is that too much fuel? I think that's enough fuel. Now you got me paranoid. I think like 53 litres is probably enough. Although this is a Porsche, they tend to guzzle fuel. Ah, well, it doesn't matter. I know the Porsche RSRs normally just eats fuel. I've got Porsche fuel paranoia. Okay. I don't want to dom GTR myself. Remember, I'm carrying a lot of tea bags in this vehicle, so. front end fuel bite. Okay, here we go. We go. Good acceleration with the Porsche. Contact with the cars behind. Let's see if we can find a way through the traffic. There we go. So the netcode is really good in ACC. I mean, look how smooth all the cars are on the track, and we've got like 50 cars, 30 cars in this race. So, you know. That guy managed to take out like 6 people there. I found a way through. Not sure what he was thinking. Yeah, you jinxed it there, but it's alright, I snuck through. Just as you typed it. It always blows my mind how quick people are in quali and then how slow they are when it actually comes to being in a race. Yeah, you need a fast graphics card for this. What's his car say unit on it? What a unit. Slow in both, very consistent. Well, you know, that's something. Straight up to 30, not bad. Let's try and sneak up the inside here. I'll do. Thank you. I think he was a bit soft on us there. Not sure why the car wants to drift through there. The off camber plus the lift off oversteer. Jesus Christ. Put a wheel on the old Sandys there. No, don't hit me. Thank you. I like the wobbling windscreen wiper. Yoink! I think his traction control's on really low, and then he spun. Oh, he spun up. Oh, he's decided to ram me. No thanks. That wasn't very friendly. Like, every time we go through that corner, wants to drift it. I prefer a single widescreen personally because it's just less effort. Triple screens, you have more cables and more setup, and a lot of the games at the moment tend to play better with a single screen. Triple screen can be quite a cheap way of getting a very wide view though, depending on what screens you use. But yeah, stuff like frame rate and tearing is a lot easier to deal with on a single monitor normally. Oh, he's been binned. Not sure what happened to him. He's gone though. Try and close the gap here. This is Asus 35-inch ultra wide. Trying a bit later braking there, but it didn't really help. We'll try and close the gap. Well, the new TVs are especially good for frame rate and what have you, and response time. Hello, Robert Good. Oh, cock. That's a track cut. That's a curb. Hello, Michael Jones. Yeah, I was thinking of getting one of those LG Nano Cell TVs, and maybe plug a PlayStation 5 into it. It's my sitting room setup. I have a projector in my sitting room, but it's typically pretty bad. It's because it's a DLP projector, and you get for fast motion games, first-person shooters and things. You get like fringing on it. It'd be alright with like platform games though. Hello, Coppermine 64. Oh, come on. See, this is the point at where in ACC where the lack of that seat of the pants force feedback is a problem for me. Is when you've got to catch up, you're trying to push, so you have to you really are trying to get the car to the limit, but you don't want to go over the limit. You know, you want to balance it there and get the absolute most possible out of it. You can't feel it at all. So there's no... What happens is you inevitably just go over the limit and do a big slide. It should be... To me, that should be like the most enjoyable part of driving is finding the limit and trying to hold it there. Hello, Ben. I'm just looking at the Delta. It's better now. I can tell because the numbers have... Because it's green. And the numbers are higher. Drive-by Delta. Australian Ben. He's in summer. Back to front bend. Cut my rears a bit with that slide. The drifty one. I might put a slightly softer dampener in my brake pedal here. I like setting up the brake pedal so that you have, as you push it with the load cell brake, you have like the movement and give in the pedal until you get to about 90% of brake force, and then that's when it stops moving. And that way you have a sort of haptic feel to the brake pedal for how much braking you're applying. So you know if the brake pedal's no longer moving, you know that you're at 100% force or 90%, and that way you know when you stamp on the brake pedal at max speed that you're not going to lock up the wheels, but you also know how much, you know, you've just got a good feel for the range of the braking. Really lets you develop a feel for braking. You penis. Oh come on man, what are you doing? Right, what are you doing? You ran me off the track there repeatedly. That's just unacceptable. The marshals are reviewing that. I think he gave me the place back there. Guilty. Do you like the new guilty icon? No, he's alright. He let us have it back. I think it's a viewer. I think he just missed the break point. He was probably trying to knock us back round again. Oh, Jesus. We've overheated the rear tyres here. Oh, no, another subscriber. Kill the subscribers. They're the worst people on earth. Got a bit of a battle here. Yeah, you've got when you slide this Porsche, you have about 3 corners until the wheels come back to you after overheating, which is fair enough. It's not a complete deathmobile, but it's definitely just a little bit less traction. They're not, yes, degenerates. Car wants to slide everywhere. Trying to dial it down a bit. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see with the update to ACC. I mean, how it changes it. In what way. Ow! Guys! I know I'm slow, but I don't trust the car to go through the corner. Get a penalty? I've just been... E. Brewers is the one that needs to claim on his insurance. I did nothing wrong. I got a PB out of that. Yeah, I'm driving the old Porsche to compare it with AMS2. I mean, you know, to be honest with ACC, if you compare it to back like when I used to play GTR Evolution and Live for Speed and stuff, you do get for 35 quid, assuming you've got like a T150, a G25 or whatever wheel you've got, you buy the game. I don't know how much the DLC costs now, but even if you don't have the DLC, you buy the game, chances are you can find a server with like 20 people in it and have a 20-minute race on various tracks. You know, it does work quite well. You can have a pretty good time with it. Block. You're not getting through easy, matey. They've got a different kind of look to them, haven't they? I mean, I can't run ACC at max graphics. So... computer can't handle it. Always going for a move up the inside. It's Mike TTC. Racing against subs here. Ah, stuck in a monster slide again. Nice and close driving there. Ow! What is it with people driving into me on that corner? I might be slow, but that's the best I can do with this car. Oh, God! It's a little bit... just want to fly out a little bit on the steering. Pete Jarrett, well, ACC, basically, the explanation for ACC and why it runs like shit and why they still went with Unreal Engine is because they needed a cross-platform game engine that could do dynamic lighting, day-night stuff, all the weather stuff they wanted to do, and crucially it needed to be a cross-platform game engine that's also established in the games industry as a general tool set that a lot of developers are very familiar with. So that when they sold to their publisher, to 505 Games, it's a very desirable product for 505 to buy Kunos under the fact that they get an implementation of the physics in a game engine that can then be sold on all platforms, PS4, though it was shite on the PS4, and the original Xbox, though it was shite on the original Xbox. But moving forwards, PS5 and new Xbox Series and PC, in terms of money making, you know, that's what it's all about. Lupo Gaming. I mean, the reality is as well, for the visual fidelity that Kunos are going for with ACC in terms of the track quality, like the mesh, the resolution of the mesh, the textures, and the car details, and the fact that Unreal Engine is not really a game engine designed for driving simulators. You know, it's more like a third-person platformer, first-person shooter game where the levels are sort of either they're internal levels with lots of detail where you only see within like a 100 or 200 meter radius, or if they are large levels, they are mostly using the Unreal terrain system rather than individual lots of really high quality 3D models. Or if it is using high quality 3D models, they're dropping off in quality at a pretty close distance. So yeah, driving sims just really in Unreal Engine is very demanding. In the long run, it'll make sense. It'll be like 3440 by 1440 or something. Yeah, I mean, it's a good business decision what they did. It's shitty for AC. Well, not all AC fans. A bad decision for a lot of core AC fans, but they'll have, you know, from the console users and new people that got into it, they'll have got more users from ACC. And from a publisher and monetization point of view, it's a shrewd business decision. So, you know. Sim racing, everything. Thank you, man. Well, we got 7th, so obviously... Why 7th? I don't know. Well, Stefano no longer works for Kunos. He's working on a boat simulator at the moment. So AC2 will probably just be ACC, but with different content in terms of car handling and physics and what have you. I mean, Kunos realistically is no longer Kunos. Since Stefano left Kunos, effectively, he does pop in every now and again to do certain stuff. So, you know, maybe he'll pop in and do other stuff. But effectively, Assetto Netcar Pro, Fry Virtual Academy, original Assetto Corsa. You could argue ACC, but that's it really. As far as that original, you know, it's the equivalent of like if you had two writers writing a TV show, or certain writers writing it, and then one goes off to do something else. They might, whatever's left might still have lots of the same kind of stuff to it, but it'll be you know, it'll be a different sort of mix and direction. I mean, interestingly, watching Stefano working on his boat game, which actually looks really cool. He decided to move to a different game engine from the one he was using initially, and he was like, the engine that he ended up picking doesn't have console support, but he's like, oh, it's really good, and we looked at it maybe to use it for ACC, but it didn't have the cross-platform support. And he was like, but his boat game isn't really for console. He doesn't give a shit. He just cares about making a game that he's interested in making and that's good. So, and as a result, they'll probably end up with a better... That boat sim he's working on will have a better engine for PCs. It'll run better, probably have better VR support, probably be a better game on PC. Whereas ACC, because it has to have cross-platform support, because the point of it, largely... is so that it can be sold cross-platform and the publisher can make as much money as possible out of it. The result is you end up with something that's just not as good as it could have been on PC. But you get more players playing it and more active user base, which for YouTubers and stuff is good, you know. I mean, I think people like Jardier has done really well out of ACC, and the fact that it's cross-platform will have allowed him to get way more views out of playing ACC. I think that's probably the turning point for his channel in terms of really growing. And if ACC wasn't a cross-platform game, that initial launch period, I doubt he would have got. Because as a streamer and a YouTuber, you need to, if you really want to get big, you need to be playing either be huge in iRacing, or you need to be playing games which have a cross-platform user base. So, you know, there's many pros and cons to all these things, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna jump back into AMS2, back in the car. We'll try it at Nurburgring. We'll do it with subscribers. Michael Jones. I have a T300 T3PA Pro pedals on a PlayStation. I haven't touched it for ages. I blame you and Jimmy. I watch you guys instead of racing. Don't do that, you noob. I'm going to try the Porsche at Nürburgring with subscribers so we can do a fair direct comparison. Having gone from sim to sim, I think it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I think in the... I mean, I don't know. To me, I've always felt that there's... Hello, yeah, hairy leg. To me, Unreal Engine, even with first-person shooters, seems to have... I don't know if it's a deferred render or something. It doesn't have the nippiness. There's something off with it. And I've always felt this with the Unreal 3 onwards, basically. I know we're technically on like Unreal 6 by now, but... I'm wearing pants. That's just your fantasizing. I'm wearing shorts. Right. Nurburg time. Here we go. You can join this, Shumi, if you want. That was the one we were racing, isn't it? The fast NGK. Not the slow one. That's the fast one. There we go. Opponent settings 20. That's R Factor 2 you're talking about, Shumi. I find Unreal Engine works best in indie horror games. There you go. Gamer Muscle password T. Right. Right, see if people get into this. 30 yeah, I know. I was saying earlier I was watching that Spider-Man 30 FPS. Oh, Jesus. I was just like, what on earth? Like, how... Right, ray tracing's impressive, but... Like, how is 30 FPS just acceptable at all? Like, in what... For gaming, in what world is 30 FPS acceptable? Like, the only time where 30 FPS is acceptable would be back in, like, even in the 2000s, it wasn't acceptable. Like, I remember playing... Literally, the last time 30 FPS was acceptable to me was playing GoldenEye split screen, where it would drop down to, like, 12, sometimes 8 FPS. But, like, honestly, I can't... Even Doom, I would minimise the window so it was letterbox, and that would still be over 12 FPS. That'd be like at least 20, 30 FPS. Half-Life 1, I was playing that at 60 plus FPS. The first Unreal, I mean Quake, that was 60 plus FPS. It's different on a CRT screen because they don't get tearing in the same way. Anyone joining? I'm just gonna drive by myself here. It's just me and Donna's kebab. Yeah, Michael, that was really funny. How Sonic was slower in Europe than in America. Like the music's even slower. Everything's slower. What? Yeah, AB, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about Quake what? Like Quake 1? Oh, we've lost all the AMS2 fanboys here with my ACC. No, Quake 1 wasn't locked at 10 FPS because Doom ran faster than 10 FPS. Right, I'm checking that. I don't. Yeah, no, wait, it wasn't capped at 10 FPS. You drunk? It wasn't capped at anything. People didn't even cap the FPSs. You could type a console command. Okay, Google. Was Quake 1 locked at 10 FPS at launch? Right, I don't know if you're talking about some like random. This is not true. I'm not seeing it. I've never heard of that. That sounds ridiculous. Like, why would that be the case? Don't make any. You're talking about on the Dreamcast, maybe. Yeah, he's drunk. Where do you even get that fact from? T in capital letters is the password. There we go. We've got 3 people. Almost ready for a... This is just a comparison. Thanks for subscribing, Clifford. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I played the shareware version of Doom. I've never completed the full original Doom. I've owned like Doom 95 and the original Doom like 3 different times. I even had the Doom id collector's box, which is amazing. Still not completed original Doom. I missed Quake out though, because I don't know why I missed Quake out. I like Doom, and then I really got into Half-Life and Day of Defeat. And I really got into Unreal, an Unreal Tournament, and the mods for Unreal Tournament, and then I got into Half-Life multiplayer. Can we get servers running in Unreal? I'm 47, Bill. How can you get servers running? I'd really like to play some Unreal Tournament against subscribers, but I don't know how we could get a server running. So we could play Facing Worlds. Find out who the best... No, I am building. Everyone will tell you in chat. T in capital letters is the password. You still got a Commodore... Does the tape drive still work on your C64? You're actually still trying to load Bubble Bobble. It's still loading. It's been loaded for 25 years. I don't do VR streams because it's not very comfortable to live stream in VR. That's really not a positive attitude, Shumi. It's not a nice thing to say. Right, edit setup. We've got to make sure. So, first things first, make sure you set soft slicks because they're not selected by default correctly. Right, here we go. AC fanboys are so miserable. Anytime they're not playing AC, yeah, because AC is so good, it ruins their lives. Ah, you've been DLC noobed. I definitely have the field of view too high in ACC, so I need to sort that out. Alright, Mr. Dog, thanks for watching. What is the jumpiness about? Well, there's... Okay, so the difference is... There's way less grip. First thing that stands out... It has lower grip. And the tyres have a wider slip angle to them. The force feedback's way more informative in this than ACC. The ACC car's a lot more planted. So I mean, this is a much more fun car to drive. I'm going to reduce the LSD on the rear, the preload. T in capital letters password. Man, I need to set the field of view. It really throws you off, guys, when you run different FOVs in different games, because you'd think, oh, the breakpoint's there. You have to modulate the throttle. More range of like throttle modulation in this. In ACC, it's so abrupt. There's like less opportunity for the driver to drive badly. Yeah, the audio's a lot better in ACC for sure. The audio's amazing in ACC. Whoever does the audio at Kunos, absolutely bloody good job. This has this has more of a race room feel to this car. Checkmate AC fanboys. Curses. Tits. Missing the brake point because I'm... Yeah, they are good, Pete. What was I going to change? I'm an idiot. I forgot what I was going to change. Stop to change something up. Oh, yeah. Oh, there is no... Okay. Reduce the preload. Right, let's just do that. I know, yeah, I'm on my LSD now, it's alright. Getting this server, guys. That's true as well, yeah. Yeah. Exactly what you said. Force feedback's very jumpy in this, though. I don't know why the force feedback's so jumpy. Maybe it's because the suspension's really bouncy in this, which is then causing the force feedback to overact a bit. Marsupial on a trampoline. You always need to have the gurney flap. Right, next time I load up ACC, guys, remind me to reduce the field of view. God knows why I'm running it so high. I don't know what is wrong with me. Zolum, I don't really use a dampener on my wheel, so yeah, so right, if Reza just released Automobilista 2 as a GT3 game, and they just had GT3 cars and the tracks, and then they spent their development time on making them all drive like this Porsche, or the same sort of ballpark, it would be a more appealing game. It's like, it's too much random shit in this. Games benefit from being focused. There's only so much a developer can do. Like, if you start adding 300 cars to your game, unless it's mods where a modder can spend months pissing around with the car to get it nice, you're better off just doing whatever car you do, you're better off doing to a very high quality. And then only when that is done, add more cars. Do. I would much rather have 3 solid cars or generally good cars than 50 shite cars. You know. It's like the novelty of driving different cars is only good if all the different cars are good. This is good though. I mean, honestly, jumping from ACC to this actually really reflects well on this. I mean, if I drive this in AC, I'd be like, well, that's best, probably, but this is way more fun to drive than the ACC version. I mean, you know, people might go, well, the ACC one's more realistic, but this is more fun, so I don't care. More interesting to drive, more interesting handling. I don't know how much of that comes from the force feedback, though. FIFA's shit. Talk about FIFA, shit game. PES is better than FIFA. That's how shit FIFA is. Nothing beats Actua Soccer on the on a Voodoo 2. Came free with the Voodoo 2. What's infra? I don't even know what that is. Sensible Soccer was good. It's very frustrating. Guys, you can join if you want. Password is T. Actua Soccer and Golf. I used to play Sensible Soccer on the Atari ST. Yeah, back in the Amiga Atari days. Those were the days. See anyone else on track here? Whew. Bloody hell. Well, as I say, I'd much I find the original Assetto Corsa just way more compelling than both of them. But this, I'm giving this, okay, having just gone from this to ACC back to from ACC to this on the same track. Do you know what? I'm gonna give this 7. Oh no, let's be real here. ACC is probably like 5 tea bags, and this is like 6.5 tea bags. An original Assetto Corsa for sheer driving pleasure, as the Germans would say. AC would be like, is like 9 tea bags. You know. I should do a video. I've got the pedal review video to come out first. I've got to finish that. I can't keep putting it off. Should do a video. Automobilista 2 versus ACC. All the ACC fanboys will have a mental breakdown. I mean, at the end of the day, ACC has better sound, better netcode. It's a complete package. This, I mean, the other GT3 cars in this are shite, so Mr. Porsche's the only one. Exactly, Rune Link. Fundamentalist Assetto Corsa fanboy society. I think AC was an accident. It was an accidental genius child. Can you turn your hands off on this game? I don't want my hands. I don't think we can turn the hands off, unfortunately. Pretty sure you could. Sorry, other people are allowed to prefer the feel, but they're wrong. You know, it's like me going. McDonald's. It's not subjective though. It's like me going McDonald's is better than Burger King. It's like, well, look, you might enjoy McDonald's burgers more than Burger King burgers. That's fine. Subjectively, you're allowed to enjoy it more than, you know. But objectively, Burger King burgers are better burgers than McDonald's. If you're looking for an actual burger that's a burger, you know. I mean, a Five Guys burger is better than a Burger King burger. I mean, like, some people might enjoy McDonald's over Five Guys, but the fact of the matter is, one is an actual burger that's cooked properly, and one is some frozen thin bit of meat stuck in some sugar bread. You know? There's subjectivity, but there's objectivity within that subjectivity, is what I'm saying. I just made that up. Sandor, right? Smash that burger. They're kings for a reason. Hello, Turchella. Right, we go. Oh, fish fillet. It's like only like 3 people order them a day when you work in McDonald's. What you think original Assetto Corsa has boring FFB? I mean, what wheel are you using? No, yeah, I beg with me. I've got steaks in my fridge. I've been eating loads of. I've decided to try and just eat loads of red meat for a change. So I've got loads of really nice steaks in my fridge. They're quite cheap at Lidl, actually. Gone all in. Meat man. Exactly, Michael James. Michael James is a man of taste. Here we go. Oh! Oh! Oh, come on. I'm side by side. I'm in a straight line. I can't... Can't avoid you any more than that. These guys are quick. I mean, you know what? This runs really well. Performance-wise. Looks super crisp. And it's just running at totally perfect frame rate. Looks great. This car actually gives me a lot of hope with AMS2, you know. Because Reza, they keep polishing. Yeah, it only gets better. You can't ever count Reza out. No, I sit on my desk when I'm playing non-serious games. On the inside! Not quite. This car's it's nice and progressive. Bit too bumpy. Jeez. Oh, come on! Oh, cock! Apart from the bumpiness. Jesus Christ, that was an impact. I mean, I did go off-road and... Bloody hell, that was a wall hit and a half. That'd have been removed testes. No, I got damage turned off. That would have been a brutal crash. We hit the wall face on. That would have taken the front of the car off. I was just testing the Armco physics, guys. Oh, we got a helicopter and everything. Oh, shit. Sorry. Well, he pulled over for me there. I should have gone wider. It's a very nice Porsche car model. Rolling down the hill in a wheelie bin. That's oddly specific. That sounds like you've actually done that. Oh, gee, why is it so bouncy? What is that about? I mean, I imagine it wouldn't be smooth doing that. You know, I imagine that'd be pretty bouncy in real life as well, but... Have you driven this car, Frederick? It's quite nice. Right, all in on the brake bias. Yeah, that is annoying, I agree. I don't know what causes that. No, what do you mean? Do you mean a monopod? It's a 911R. it's more fun to try and get this car to go faster, whereas I find the ACC one's more stable. Jesus. There we go, too far back on the rear brake bias there. The ACC one's more stable, but it's then like, it feels like it gives you all it's got pretty much straight away. Yeah, there's no real play to it. It's very train tracky. I mean, you also have to give this has way better VR support than ACC. Oh dear. In which ways of it? Well, ACC's VR is just total shit. It's blurred. The game doesn't run fast enough to do VR frame rates properly. The frame timing is delayed. It's just terrible. The user interface and the general experience in VR is not particularly good either. Whereas in this just runs flawlessly in VR. You load the game up with your VR headset on, it all works as you'd expect. It's nice to operate. Yeah, it's all good. You don't need an insane computer to run it, and it looks crisp. No, it's to do with the way the game is like the renderer, the underlying method of rendering the image causes it to be blurry in VR. You have to remember, the whole point of ACC, like the main choices behind its development, is cross-platform driving sim, which is good for using them. Like when they get the PS5 version out, it'll be actually quite good. I mean, it'd be amazing if they can do cross-play. That'd be incredible. I don't think they will. But that would be something really special, because then ACC will effectively be the only console decent simulator. So, for influencers, YouTubers, live streamers, and player base, that's fantastic. But if you're sort of like a hardcore PC sim, you know, you like VR and things, and you care about raw clarity of the image and stuff, then these sort of things are a bit annoying. Reza stand, you know, if Reza can get all the cars, it's just getting the polish there. If they can get all the cars to just this level, and then they can release it as a cross-platform game. AMS2, like the name of it's shit. They need to call it something. They need to call it something else, like AMS2. Bloody hell. I mean, you can make the same argument for Assetto Corsa. But if they could release this as a cross-platform game, and you rely on like you get some like influencer marketing stuff in there, and you really push the sort of realism, just bullshit it, like they did with Project Cars 2, just keep going on about how realistic it is, because people lap that up. They don't actually know what is or isn't realistic. But if you just keep going on about it and get a bunch of real-world drivers to say, "Oh yeah, this is really close to my car," done, and sell it on console, then that'll instantly make it a way more popular game. One of the things we've learned from politics in the last 2 years is reality doesn't matter. Like, objective fact doesn't matter. Narrative's the only thing that matters. So as a developer of a driving sim, just show loads of graphs and slow motions of the tyres flexing and slow motion of the cars moving around, and maybe contrast that with some real world footage so visually it looks identical, because it doesn't bloody live for speed. and then have that at 4K, and then have some real world just edit that together, and then cross-platform, sell it on console, sell it as the most realistic simulator on PlayStation, on console. People lap it up. Reality doesn't matter. Jesus! What? Okay. Oh, Christ. The bounciness thing is a little bit... ACC definitely takes curbing better. Let's say that. Well, you look at Project Cars 1 and Project Cars 2, they are quite complicated physics engines. Like the Madness engine, the underlying tech is actually really advanced. But the fact of the matter is, most of the content in Project Cars 1 and Project Cars 2 obviously is not particularly realistic. Like, that's just a fact, I'm sorry. But it doesn't matter, because the marketing was such that the narrative was that Project Cars 2 was like the most realistic simulator, and people will buy a sim based off that, even if they don't even intend to play it, or if they're shit at driving sims. Doesn't matter. The point is, it's value. It's like, oh, wow, I'm getting to drive a real car for £35, £40. It's worth getting. That's what you're selling with simulators a lot of the time. I am using the new pedals. We've got the review video will be coming out soon. I have a little bit of editing to do still, but they are very good. Ugh. Loads of casuals bought it and never played it. That's who games are made for. Exactly. But hey, this car's good fun in Automobilista 2. And you've got a good number of tracks, and you can... So one of the things which is great with it, let's try this now actually. I'm going to quit this lobby. I'll make a new one. But this is a really awesome feature with Automobilista 2. So what you do is you do multiplayer, and you're like, right, I'm going to create a new session. And you're like, right, what do we fancy driving? What do you fancy driving with your friends? And you're like, oh well, let's go for what would people never normally drive? I don't know what that is, but okay. You're like, oh, let's drive that. And then you're like, okay, opponent settings. You're like, right, I want a full grid, and I'm going to fill it with AI, because I don't have any friends. Because I sim race too much, so I've not developed any social skills. so we're gonna have. I've just got 3 friends. I really don't have any friends. Opponent skill. Okay, so we're like, okay, and we'll call it no friends. Password T. And then you're like, okay, what circuit should we do? Alton Park. Perfect. Okay, so start off, got no friends, We got got 3 friends. Yeah, I mean, you don't need a lot of friends. I'm taking the piss. I think it's better to have a few friends that you're good friends with than loads of friends, to be honest. Unless they're all Ukrainian supermodels, in which case the more the merrier. Look, see, I've got so few friends, they're not even filling up the server. Guys, search for no friends, password T. Oh, there we go. So, your friends joined in, and you're like, oh, hey up, Donners. Hey up, Smash. Nice of you to join us. Because I'm assuming you're not a live streamer, and you just want to play a driving game with some friends, but you don't want to just do it on your own like a loser. So you're like, okay, oh look, my 3 friends have came in. Cryer, Smash, Donners. The posse's back. We've got a few drinks. Could be a LAN party. Who knows? You know, Friday night, time off work. These are your friends. So you're like, okay, let's start. We've got it set up. We picked what we wanted. And that's it. Now it should fill it up with AI. And we can race with our 4 friends with AI, try and beat the AI, which is a nice feature to have if you don't want to, and the fact that you can just host this off your own computer. It's a really nice, underrated feature. Here we go. Edit set up. Let's. Okay, we're just going to have to go for that because there's only 1 tyre. Jesus, what is this car? Oh, I've got leather wheels, so you know, first of all... Jesus. What is going on here? Okay, this car's got really bad understeer. Bloody hell. This car's got more push than a woman giving birth. Look at this. I don't actually have that many. I only have like, well, let's see, 6 or so real-world friends. Like, actually, you know, people that I could depend on. Like if I said, oh, my house is burnt down, can I come and sleep on your sofa? Probably about 6 people. I don't think you need any more friends than that, to be honest. He's stuck in the mouth of a frog. Jesus, his car doesn't corner. This is a Lotus 60 or something. I'm not going to heel and toe because my pedals are too far apart. Probably do with adjusting the LSD again. Bakelite steering wheel. Probably reinforced Bakelite. $23. Hello, Victor. Oh man, it's so much easier not heel and towing. I find heel and towing really physical. We did Nordschleifer first thing, Mr. PC. This is like driving a soapbox. Yeah, I find it puts strain on my knees, though. I've got, like, Pete Jarum's knees. My knees are effed. Hey, Victor. Yeah, I don't know how often I'll be back. I have a lot of fatigue at the moment, so I just don't have any energy. So that's why I've not been streaming much. No, I don't. It seems to come and go at random, unfortunately. So can't guarantee that we'll be regularly streaming. COVID confirmed. I think I had COVID really, really early on. Now I believe maybe it's the long COVID or the I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But hey, breathing, bonus. Come on, car. This actually is quite consistent model. It's just not very grippy. The dance floor claimed Pete's knees. Yeah, he took too many E's and accidentally dived onto his knees whilst dancing. Too much sliding. Too much sliding through Tesco's. He made the mistake of sliding through Tesco's car park without knee protection. It's not the same as the inside of a polished supermarket floor. Let's check this out. I didn't even do a lap. Oh well. No, I could do a lap here if I don't make a mistake. So this is really good if you've got a couple of friends as well that hello Revin UK that are doing you want to race in VR with a couple of friends. So I think AMS2 does have its place. Oh, clutch is... Springs making noise. What's that's about? Oh, come on, car. I know, I want James Tumulty to get more viewers. I don't know why he doesn't get more viewers, because he's, you know, he chats with the chat. His stream's nicely formatted. It's nice and chill. It's weird. Maybe you should do some reviews or something so more people can discover him. Yeah, that part of YouTube really annoys me. Like, if he was doing exactly the same thing, but he had big tits, he would have like hundreds of viewers. You know what I mean? That's YouTube. That's how it works. Everyone would be like, "Oh, what a nice lady, so friendly and approachable, and playing driving sims. Wow, here's a donation." Jesus, there's the... Shumi, would you know anything about changing gear from like 6th into 2nd at high speed? Doloch Glock McGarry, I didn't get a lap in. Whoops, this car's fun to drive, and you're right. Yeah, well, we'll see what this is like in the race session here. Yeah. Oh, I'm 2nd. What are you doing, Crier? Noob. Donna's is gone. He's on track still. Okay, continuing off. I'm kind of bored of ranting about a lot. I mean, I'll have a whinge about force feedback, obviously. Politics is boring now. You know. What can we rant? I'm sure we'll find some new games to rant about. PlayStation 5's coming out. We'll get one of them and we can complain about that. That'll be good. Right, there we go. Nice. Are you being serious, Richard? Was that a troll? anyone that says that Biden is left is like conservative. Bring it back from the coffin. Here we go. Yeah, well, I don't... Stop the count. Sounds like a Sesame Street episode. Right, here we go. So we start this off. Donica. Yeah, I can't even speak English, so... See how this works with the AI. Got it. I don't know, Trump got a bit predictably boring, to be honest. It was just obvious what he's going to do. It was just boring. It was entertaining at times, like... Sometimes there'd be stuff in here, like, it's, you know, it pushed the boundary of, like, how low you can expect a person's brain to function at, but it got a bit boring. Oh, here we go. I should have put the AI on the hardest setting. I'm going to let the AI catch up and go past so we can, for demonstration purposes. Proceed to lose control. Look at these cars, look nice. Look at this. So you just got your 4 mates Friday night. You just want to piss around with different cars in VR with your mates and see, and with AI and stuff. See who can beat the AI. You can put it on the hardest setting. That's actually a really good thing. Like, you wouldn't know this was in AMS2 as a... It's almost as if YouTubers are kind of responsible for promoting this kind of stuff. What is there? A flock of seagulls. They seem to be stuck in one spot. Maybe I'll do a video on it. The best hidden feature in Automobilista 2. Damn it. Someone else is going to steal that idea before I do it. That's a 5-view video if there ever was one. We're trying to get back to the 1930s. It's quite exciting. I'm dying to find out which marginalised group will be the one that gets exterminated. And then... yeah, this car actually seems pretty stable. Like a nice... It actually seems like a pretty solid car, to be honest. I mean, it's a brick, but I think that's might just be how this car is. Sim racers. We'll have to create a sim racing resistance. Oh yeah, no, this is actually an interesting political point. I was reading online actually, because you know you sort of look at how many people voted for Trump, right? And you're like, that's mental. Obviously, they're lacking critical thinking, which they probably are. But outside of that, you still think, oh, hang on a minute, how come there's still that many people? Obviously, you know, what is that about? It's still, even ignoring critical thinking and people just being a bit mental, that still seems like a lot of people to vote for someone like Trump, or not Trump, but like the Republicans. But someone pointed out, if you distill things into people that vote based on single issues, so like say you're someone that doesn't agree with abortion, or you've been brainwashed to not believe in healthcare or whatever because you think it's socialist, I don't know, but like let's say there's just one of those issues, so single issue voters will obviously then vote for that candidate that happens to tick off one of those single issues. And if you're basically a lying you know, your party's based off just BS, lying and stuff, and those traditional things, you are more likely to tick off one of those single issue voter boxes, right? You're less likely to not exclude yourself. And that actually, that's quite a good explanation for why so many people still, that why someone like Trump, despite massacring 100,000 plus people through complete mismanagement of COVID strategy, can still have half, like 45% of the population vote for them. It's quite interesting. Hello, Nick Grabau. I got it right. There you go. Yeah, there is also that people just vote. They'll vote for what they always vote for, which I've never understood, because I would change. So last election in the UK, I voted Labour. Previous election, I would have voted Liberal Democrat when they were doing that election where they joined the Conservatives, and then proceeded to effectively do absolutely nothing of value. And then next election, I don't know who I'd vote for, to be honest. And every election, I would look at the policies that a party's, like their mandate, and then I'd also factor in how likely I think it is that they would execute them. I couldn't care who the actual party name, who's running it. So like with Labour, I think Corbyn's bloody useless and he's annoying, but their mandate was perfectly fine. So that's, if the Conservatives came out with a mandate, policies that were not regressive and literally killing of poor people, then I'd happily vote for them. It's strange. Yeah, the economy stuff's always strange because you can't evaluate. It's very hard to evaluate any government, rightly or wrongly, on the economy that they inherit. Because most political decisions and most economic stuff takes like 10, 15 years to really pan out and come to fruition. So it's always strange, I find, when you have a political party going, oh, well, in our 4 years, we did this to the economy. It's like, hang on. Hey, AI's racing all right here, What do you mean, why is this car back to front? There's no lights on the rear part of it. There's just holes for weight saving. Azaris, have you got a source for that? What? Have you got a source for that, man? You're going to type that without a source? I don't know. It's all good fun though, isn't it? This is the new Aston Martin Formula 1 car, yeah. Exciting. They decided to go backwards in time to get, this has actually got a curse. This is actually the optimal design for an electric vehicle. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like, you don't have to make stuff up to attack someone like Corbyn. You could easily attack Corbyn by saying, "Oh, he's indecisive, he can't talk properly, and he's not good at uniting a fundamentally centrist party." You can attack him through that. You don't need to make some random crap up that's patently not true. He dresses badly. I mean, if you're going to say that Corbyn was a terrorist, despite the fact that he's instrumental in parts of the Good Friday Agreement, which is probably one of the most one of the best examples of bringing peace to the United Kingdom in recent times, not what he did, but in its totality. It's just absurd. It's utterly absurd. But if you're going to call Corbyn a terrorist, then what do you bloody call the current late parts of the Labour Party or parts of the Conservative Party that are literally funding and doing weapons deals, which we've just always accepted? So it just don't make sense. Outside of what you think is right or wrong, at least if you're going to make an argument, you need to at least make sure it bloody makes sense. That is true. I mean, you do have to wonder if someone can't wear a nice suit on the BBC to get free votes from people that care about suits. That does actually highlight their inability to be a good prime minister. You know, like either wear like a anarchy jacket because that's what you're into, or you know, if you're trying to get mainstream voters to vote for you because you want to win an election from an idiot population, then it doesn't take. You might as well wear a shirt, a nice shirt and tie and jacket that fits. So it is actually a valid criticism, that. Politicians are the original live streamers. Azaris, are you brain dead, man? Come on. You do know that Tory politicians and other parts of the Labour Party went to funerals for various people of dissident groups. You're so dumb. Why are you regurgitating such stupid shit? Come on, man. Use your brain. You're literally just repeating something that's been written that's just stupid. There's loads of examples of different politicians going to the funerals of God knows who did what in the past. Rightly or wrongly. Come on, use your brain matter. Yeah, should I think to be allowed to vote, you have to be able to do a lap of the Nordschleife with a DD on 50% force feedback in a certain time frame, and you also have to answer the question which is the best simulator with the Assetto Corsa. Oh no. Well, at least the grass looks nice. People who play Sims with a racing line. Alright, Phantom Racer. What if they're playing with a gamepad though? They might need the racing line. It's bloody hard. Bloody hard to play Sims with a gamepad. Yeah, so but I say politics has got it's a bit boring now. Now's the part where we just all everyone just starves to death. That's where we're at, 1930s style. No, Confreed, I haven't. Who are we going to war with, though? Trump will die before Biden will. Well, probably because Trump's more overweight, isn't he? I think that both Trump and Biden are like pumped full of steroids or something, because they seem to have a lot of energy for people that are like 300 years old. Oh, final lap here. I didn't realise that Bernie Sanders is older than both Trump and Biden. Ban quick, because it's easier to get in and out of the sim rig with it on the right. And a lot of race cars have the shifter on the right as opposed to the left. It doesn't really make any difference to me. I've driven UK road cars and it doesn't bother me. And I've driven sim rigs with them on either side. Like, it doesn't seem to... Oh, my clutch pedal spring's squeaking. That's annoying. Fix that. Yeah, so that's what's weird as well with American politics, right? Why would you want someone over 70 running a country? Like, or even like over 65. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you're mentally slow. I mean, I feel mentally slow now. At 47 years old, I feel mentally slow compared to when I was in my 20s. So, what if you have to make like a really complicated decision? You don't want some old age pensioner in charge of everything. You want someone that's a bit, you know, mentally nimble, so that they can take the advice from their advisors and make the correct decision. Hello, Miles Murray. There we go. So that worked really well, you know. That's another video. It's the decline. Ah, oh, beautiful. Came last out of the humans. But we beat the robots, apart from Donna's. Donna's got destroyed by the Terminator there. See, the music's rather upbeat. They're mixing some gospel singers. Sounds like some kind of bonus track in Jet Set Radio. Okay, right. That was good. That was good fun. I think that proved the point. The AI part of this game is quite good. And that car was actually all right. So that's that. I think I'm going to stop now because I've streamed for too long. Streamed for too long. We've done like 8. Gee, this is my problem with live streaming. I should just stream for like 4 hours, but then we get into like radio muscle mode and I don't shut up. Before I know it's 11 o'clock. Didn't we start at like 5 or something? We'll definitely have to live stream the Kudos update. I'm going to say it's bad even if it's good. Just to spite Kunos. That's what we should do. DJ Wild streams his mixes for 9 hours. Yeah, but he's not sim racing, is he? It's not the same thing. Why did I get a 3 weeks old video? I don't know. This update, Yeah, I'm giving it 6 tea bags at the moment in totality. Some of the cars are still mental, but some of them seem okay actually. Like the Porsche. Why am I clicking on that? That's not what I want. This Porsche GT3 is genuinely more fun than the one in ACC. Now it does bounce around a lot, like the suspension's a bit interesting, but you know. It's more fun to drive. Like the 4 Speedback's nicer at least than the one in ACC. So, but then again, this has only got 3 GT3 cars in it. So, and the one in AC is better. So, so you know. No, I just haven't been doing flight sims. Flight sims for me is just like more of a chill out thing. Here's an idea for AC stream. Why not choose a racing series and do all the races in one stream? Eh? We'll do like 12 races? What do you mean? Do you mean like do a... We'll be dead. Oh, championship. Well, there is that race department online system, which I've got an account for, so it might use that for something. I like Flight Sim, just haven't played it much. I need to get that mod installed where you do missions, because that's what I need. But yeah, I need to call it a night, I think. But it was good fun racing. We had some good racing with subs there. I had a fun stream. It's nice and easy, nice and chill. Yeah. So I'll be back soon, hopefully. I've got a review video I need to finish off. And I need to do that before I do another live stream, because it needs to be done. Otherwise, I'll be behind. Hard life as a YouTuber. I'm not sure what we'll play next, to be honest. What else is coming out? I say definitely. Annoyingly, I really want to do the race room endurance race that they do on Wednesdays at like 6 PM. But the ACC update will be coming out then, so I'll just play that for that update, because it'll be fun to race that with subs. Actua Soccer next. Yeah, we'll do some AC soon as well. Well, we'll work it out. We'll wrangle Chili Dog or Izzy into hosting a server. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and taking part this evening. Let me do the old credit thing. The new FIFA is the same every year, isn't it? There's no such thing as a new FIFA. There you go. Thank you for taking part, guys. Jabret with the super chat. Ah, shit, it's removed the previous one. Thank you, everyone that donated in the previous stream before this one. Sorry, it's deleted them off that. Good job. See you guys.